At just 6 feet, nothing and 200 pounds, Teemu Selanne was one of the smallest NHL players in the 1990s. But even more than his 684 career goals, 10 All-Star selections, and Stanley Cup victory, Selanne rewrote what people thought European players could do in the NHL. He changed how teams scouted Finnish talent, destroyed the belief that European players were too soft, and made the Anaheim Mighty Ducks a hockey powerhouse. The Finnish Flash was every young player's favorite sniper. No one had his mix of blazing speed and goal-scoring touch. And even though critics said he was too small and wouldn't last in the physical NHL, in 1993 he scored 76 goals as a rookie, a record that still stands 30 years later and might never be broken. Even more impressive, he did it while playing for the struggling Winnipeg Jets, a team that hadn't made it past the first round of playoffs in 6 years. Before we jump into the Finnish Flash's incredible story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I spend 40+ hours researching these legends to find details even die-hard fans might not know. If you stick around until the end, I promise you'll learn at least 3 things about Selanne that will blow your mind. Let's get into it. Teenage Teemu Selanne wasn't even focused on hockey. He was more interested in becoming a kindergarten teacher in Finland. At age 17, he worked part-time at a daycare while playing junior hockey, believing his future was in teaching kids. But everything changed when scouts from the Winnipeg Jets saw him score 13 goals in just 35 games for Jokerit Helsinki. The Jets, desperate for a star after 15 seasons without making it past the first round of the playoffs, took a chance on him with the 10th pick in the 1988 draft. What the Jets didn't know was that Selanne had a secret weapon. He had developed exceptional hand-eye coordination, which made him deadly accurate with the puck. His path from teaching kids in Helsinki to becoming the NHL's most explosive rookie ever started in a small Finnish jewelry shop, where he spent hours perfecting the precise hand movements that would later help him become one of hockey's greatest snipers. The Winnipeg Jets were a mess in the late 1980s. After their star, Dale Hawerchuk, was injured in 1988, the team struggled and finished the 1988-89 season with a dismal record of 26-54-0. It was one of their worst stretches in franchise history. The team was so financially strained that they faced numerous challenges, including difficulties in upgrading their equipment and uniforms. Fans were leaving in droves, with home game attendance dropping to just 9,000 in a 15,000-seat arena. Things got so bad that local newspapers started calling them the Winnipeg Jokes. The team's European scout, Jarmo Wasama, was watching a game in Finland, originally scouting a different player, when he accidentally discovered Selanne. The Jets were hesitant to draft him. No Finnish player had ever been picked in the first round. But when they saw him scoring goals while playing with a broken stick in an exhibition game, they knew they had found something special. From the moment Selanne stepped onto NHL ice, he showed scoring talent that nobody had ever seen from a rookie. In his first game against the Detroit Red Wings, he pulled off a move that became instantly famous, faking a shot so convincing that the goalie fell over, leaving Selanne an empty net to score. But what made this even more special was that he did it while wearing mismatched gloves. The Jets were so low on equipment that he had to borrow one glove from a teammate. His rookie season wasn't just good, it was historically unbelievable. He scored 76 goals, crushing Mike Bossy's rookie record of 53 goals that had stood for 15 years. Even more impressive, he scored those 76 goals in just 82 games. In one stretch, he scored 11 goals in 12 games. The goals came in every way possible. Breakaways, one-timers, even one where he batted the puck out of midair like a baseball. The most memorable moment came in his 51st game. After breaking the rookie goal record, Selanne threw his glove in the air and pretended to shoot it down with his stick. A celebration that's still copied by players today. What many don't know is that he planned this celebration weeks in advance, practicing it in his hotel room using a sock instead of a glove. His teammates had bet him $100 he wouldn't dare do it in a game. Not only did he do it, but he did it in front of Wayne Gretzky, who later called it the most creative celebration I've ever seen. How unstoppable was he? Teams started assigning 2 defenders just to follow him around, but it didn't matter. He still scored. He even scored a goal while sitting on the ice after being tripped. The Finnish rookie who once wanted to be a kindergarten teacher had become the NHL's most exciting player. Just when Selanne seemed unstoppable, everything fell apart. During a charity soccer game in 1994, he completely tore his ACL, a knee injury so severe that doctors said he might never skate again. But Selanne had a secret plan for recovery. Instead of following traditional rehab, he convinced Finnish army doctors to let him use their experimental training program. This program had him performing exercises in a pool while wearing a weighted suit, something no hockey player had ever tried before. While recovering, Selanne received news that shocked the hockey world. The Jets had traded him to the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. The trade was so unexpected that Selanne found out about it while watching TV at 3 a.m. during his rehab. The Jets hadn't even called to inform him. His old teammates were so angry about the trade that they refused to talk to team management for weeks. In Anaheim, Selanne faced a new challenge. Coach Ron Wilson didn't believe in his fast attacking style of play. Wilson preferred a more defensive system, but Selanne kept playing his way. During one game, Wilson benched Selanne for being too creative. After the game, instead of arguing, Selanne stayed on the ice until 2 a.m. practicing shots, trying to prove his style could work. A security guard finally had to ask him to leave. The conflict reached its peak when Wilson made Selanne play with a defensive linemate nicknamed The Wall because he never passed the puck. Instead of complaining, Selanne adapted. He started studying video of his new linemate's skating patterns and found a way to score without needing passes, bouncing the puck off the boards to himself. Using this trick, he scored 25 goals in just 30 games. The turning point came during a crucial playoff game in the 1997-98 season. With his team down by 2 goals, Selanne ignored Wilson's defensive plan and scored 3 times in 5 minutes, all using his board bounce trick. After that game, Wilson finally admitted he was wrong and gave Selanne the freedom to play his way. This led to Selanne's best season yet, 132 points and the title of Most Valuable Player for the Western Conference. From 1995 to 1998, Teemu Selanne wasn't just playing hockey, he was redefining it. Fully recovered from his knee injury, he formed one of hockey's deadliest partnerships with Paul Kariya in Anaheim. The two are often referred to as one of the most dynamic duos in the NHL, and their play style was unlike anything the league had seen. Instead of relying on yelling plays, they developed a system of secret hand signals. Selanne would tug his glove for a drop pass, tap his stick for a one-timer, or adjust his helmet for a cross-ice play. These signals confused opponents so much that rival teams started recording their games just to crack their code. In 1996, Selanne accomplished something that seemed impossible. He led the league in goals with 76 and finished the season with 132 points, ranking high in both categories. His goal-scoring feats were remarkable, including a stretch where he scored at least 2 goals in 11 straight games. During this run, he broke the record for most shots on goal in a single game, recording 19 shots, a mark that still stands today. The amazing part, he used the same move 3 times, his signature forehand-backhand roof, a move that fans had come to expect but still couldn't stop. Selanne's peak came in 2007 when he won the Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks at age 36. His path to the Cup was incredible. In the final series against Ottawa, he played with a cracked rib, but still managed to score 5 goals in 5 games. After the victory, he revealed that he'd been using a stick with an illegal blade curve, a curve that he'd gotten away with for 15 years, because referees never suspected a player could score so many goals with an illegal stick. Perhaps his most impressive achievement came when he scored his 600th career goal on his mother's birthday. Before the game, he had promised her a special birthday present. When asked how he planned such an amazing goal, he smiled and said, "Mom's birthday only comes once a year. Had to make it count." By the time his prime years ended, Selanne had set 18 NHL records, including most game-winning goals in overtime and most hat tricks in a single month. He became the first player to score 70-plus goals more than once while playing less than 20 minutes per game. Teams changed their entire defensive systems just to stop him, with some even putting 5 defenders on the ice when he played. The NHL eventually implemented the Selanne rule to prevent players from jumping over the boards to celebrate goals, a move he pulled off 22 times in a single season. Yes, Teemu Selanne wasn't the biggest player and did get pushed around early in his career, but what he lacked in size, he made up for with speed, skill, and a relentless drive to outmaneuver opponents. He proved that smaller players could not only survive but thrive in the NHL, paving the way for future stars like Johnny Gaudreau and Patrick Kane. His unique celebration moves and fan-friendly personality helped bring a whole new group of fans to hockey. Even today, his number 8 jersey remains one of the best-selling NHL jerseys in Europe. Most importantly, Selanne opened the door for Finnish players in the NHL. Before his arrival, there were only 5 Finnish players in the league. By the time he retired, there were 37. His success helped shape the next generation of Finnish talent, and today, he continues to support hockey in Finland through his foundation, which promotes youth hockey development. That's why Teemu Selanne is still known as the Finnish Flash, a player whose impact transcends his on-ice accomplishments. He remains one of the most iconic European players in NHL history, and his legacy continues to inspire both fans and players alike. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Teemu Selanne's legendary career, hit that like button and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep bringing you stories about hockey's greatest players. Comment below which legend you want to see next. Maybe Stan Mikita? Or should we talk about Yager?